Welcome back. As a possible way of ending electoral malpractices, the United States have urged the National Assembly to establish an electoral offences tribunal where offenders will be made to face the wrath of the law. In a country where he who pays the piper dictates his tune, can we ever have a fair election? And can this method totally curb electoral malpractices? It's your view. Let it count. You can call us on 070-8066-8014. You can tweet to us at YourViewTVC. We'd like to hear your thoughts on this matter. All right, let me start with Aziza. What are your thoughts on this fact that they're saying we should have this electoral offences tribunal? Do you think it's really going to help us out?
Well, I think it's a welcome development. But the thing is, Nigeria...
That's always say that thing. Welcome to what's that? Welcome to
that's what we hear from
our leaders, so it becomes
okay, so welcome development.
Yeah, it's a welcome idea in the sense that it helps put the people on their toes. Like, okay, if I do anything wrong, there's a body on ground to check my excesses. But the thing is, the Nigerian factor is still going to go in. Sure. It's just like this idea of plea bargaining. Before you know it, they are going to find a means of just making some people above the law. But
you see, in a situation where our prisons are already full, if you find an offender and you not take them to court, and we don't even have space in the prisons.
Me, I have a solution for these prisoners. The political prisoners. There's no need to take them to the prison. Take them to Sahara Desert or the desert in Nigeria and make them grow food there.
How?
They will find a way if they want to be released. They will find a way.
Interesting illustration there. Yes, you're saying
if you want to be released, make sure that you make this barren land barren.
But how? But you see, but the real question is, how do we curb these electoral malpractices? What can we do? What's the solution?
We've heard, the Americans tend to tell us what we already know, that is the solution to the problem, and then we applaud it like it's a new thing. I said it here before, that telling me, Jega saying that don't expect a perfect election, it is not our own, it's not our fault, it is the responsibility of the politicians that are causing the issues. I said at that time that the issue is not just the politicians. Have stern laws against election malpractice and ensure that you carry out the punishment as due on anybody found wanting.
Don't you think, Tokwe, that the responsibility really lies on the people? If we say today that we want to have a free and fair election, every single one of us will stay at that polling booth, make sure our vote counts, make sure that whomever we see that is trying to carry ballot boxes, we are the ones that beat him up. Well, you know what? You don't even wait to put.
What can you say in front of a gun? AK-47 is not a joke. It is not meant for decoration. What can you do when somebody beside, and you know what they do now? They deploy military officials everywhere when they're doing elections. So what can you say when you see somebody with a gun? We've been cowed into the mentality of being suppressed, and we can't talk because of the military rule over time. When you see a gun, you keep quiet because you don't want to be one of the statistics in accidental discharge. So we are scared.
Point taken.
So the leaders should do what they should. This might just be the solution to the problem.
Yes, that is.
Aside from that, the average Nigerian doesn't come out to vote because we believe whether I vote or I don't vote, whoever is going to win is going to win. So if we all stay back in our houses, I don't think we're going to make any. People still do that. Some people have moved past that. I think in the last election, we've seen more Nigerians come out to vote. But we just hope it gets better, because the truth is that we can't keep going with that mentality. That was, yes, in those days, we say, I beg, we don't want to vote. But these days, Nigerians are realizing that your vote has to count. You have to come out to vote.
Okay,
so hopefully, you're right. As I say, you're right, but we need to hopefully change it.
Which is why in a state like Lagos State, the last election, during the state election, ACN at that time won the election, and in the same Lagos State, the same people voting during the presidential election, PDP won. So that shows that our votes count one way or the other.
Yes, YK.
Yeah, I was going to say, what if you don't believe in any of the two people? Should you still come out to vote?
That's another
point. 5 people. What if you don't believe in any of the people?
There's a better, you weigh your options, which is the worst among both of them. Yeah, so you just pick the best among the worst.
If I believe one is a snake and one is a crocodile, which is better out of the two?
Maybe you say a snake.
No, but you see, YK, it is our responsibility, it's our civic responsibility to vote. We need to ensure, because we can't complain tomorrow. After the voting is over, we now come on this table and start complaining. You have to exercise your right. Say, you know what, I voted for this person, and I can hold him accountable for what he's doing.
Okay, voting, if I don't vote, can I still hold him responsible?
Not necessarily.
Why? Am I not a citizen of the country?
Yeah, but you didn't take that responsibility. You didn't affect what you.
You are still a public servant, whether I vote for you or not.
No,
as long as I'm paying my taxes. Yeah.
Then you can use your tax as an angle to hold them accountable.
I'm sure you can actually. I'm just saying that was just a misstatement. You can't actually hold them responsible because the truth is they are
people.
Public servants.
Yeah, they should serve the people.
They have been called to serve us.
Do you hear that word? Servant.
Not rulers.
Yeah,
you're a public servant.
But interesting.
Sir,
right. We have any tweets
this is very interesting. Ilesami Shine says that the National Assembly is the most beneficial of the electoral malpractices, and do you want them to enact a law that will restrict them? No.
Let me take Rita's call. Good morning, Rita. Are you there?
Good morning.
Thanks for calling.
Good morning.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm a first-time caller.
Hey, welcome
good morning.
To the show.
Welcome.
Though I didn't really get the message about the lady that was killed, the cutting something. So, but I just want to add to I think Moraya was saying court should be in the school or something like that. No, there are courts all over the place. Have you never seen a shoemaker calling himself or mechanic guy? And if there's anything that happens, they'll go to those people. I've seen something like that in my area.
I'm not really understanding what you're saying.
I just want
You said there are some shoemakers that call themselves Thank you. Shoemakers that call themselves and there are some mechanics that call themselves black hacks, so that they're actually cultists within our areas.
Oh, really?
That's what she's saying. But there's something the tweets brought up, which is, can we trust the National Assembly to be proper umpires for an election tribunal?
Oh, we can absolutely trust them because every day they enact laws. It's one thing to enact, it's another thing to enforce it.
No, the tribunal, I thought it's supposed to be organized by them. They're supposed to chair the tribunal for...
Is that what the US said? They should...
They said they should... Okay,
no, they're saying they should enact a law so that people, whoever engages in the electoral malpractice can then be held accountable by the law. But I'm saying that electing law is the easiest part of it. Enforcing it is the issue.
But Maria, who are we going to hold responsible? Is it the guy that was thumb printing or who paid him to thumb print? Because if they catch him thumb printing, it should affect everybody. It should go up.
Okay, let me take Enoch's call. Good morning, Enoch. Are you there? Thanks for calling.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Very well.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you all for what you are doing on this program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to appreciate our sister, Auntie Annie.
Hello, good morning.
I don't know, maybe a better by the time that people will still be asking you how.
Thank you.
Well, we thank you for everything you are doing over there. But my contribution this morning is that we can't sit down home and be reaching on unnecessary conclusions. Things are changing every day. I believe this coming election, I believe there will be transparency because all eyes are on INEC.
All eyes are on INEC with Anambra, remember.
Election, I strongly believe that they must have learned their lesson because we need a change. We need young sharp like you. Nigerian government is like a dining table that is rotating. So we don't want that.
Thank you so much, Enoch. Really appreciate your call. Well, Enoch is very optimistic, which is good. He's a patriot, saying that all eyes on INEC, and he trusts that INEC would deliver. Hopefully, let's be optimistic. But we are just saying that, according to what the US is saying, that listen, we should take responsibility for whomever is causing this electoral malpractice amongst the people. And I think the people actually should take more responsibility, not the National Assembly.
No, but if there's a law, currently I don't know if there's any that has stiff penalty. And I don't just want any penalty. I want stiff penalty on whoever is found.
How many penalties, Tokwe? Let's talk to Yakub. Good morning, Yakub. Are you there? Good morning, Yakub. Thanks for calling. Are you there? Yes, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sister Yeni. Good morning, Yakut.
Good morning.
And then, I don't know the name of the
Azizat.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, ma. You see, the point is this. The last caller says that coming election is going to be transparent. I dare to disagree with him. The reason is this. If he forgets that when INEC is planning, all these political people, so-called political people, they are also planning their own. Because when they know that INEC is going this way, they will go back and strategize them to plan how to jeopardize that system. One thing I want in this country is this. If anybody caught in doing the election time, the person should be banned at least 10 years not to participate in any election again. So if that one can be able to put in place, I think it should be put end to all this rubbish. Good morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Yakub.
Thank you.
All right, let's go ahead.
I think I like that part about them being banned for like 10 years.
Yeah.
I think it's a very sensible thing to do. Yes, I think that's a very
proposed, but for some reason,
because it's going to affect most of them.
Daniel Odia says, guys, you know how these things go in our country. No matter the kind of tribunal they form, it cannot stop electoral malpractice. That's from Daniel. Anyway, but I think we shouldn't have that opinion. Someone else says, Prince Olukoya says, I don't see that happening, not till corruption is brought down to a low level. I feel that tribunals will put the politicians on their toe, and the National Assembly is not the best umpire for this tribunal.
Okay, all right, we have to round up on this, but
I think I agree with him in a certain way, because maybe we should start looking to people who are not in political office to start doing this kind of tribunals. You know, people who are independent, who don't want to run for political, don't have political ambitions, and you can't buy.
Okay, thanks to the ladies. I think we've tried our best to trash this matter. Going forward, we're going to talk about the politics of kerosene subsidy. That's on Let's Talk. Stay with us. We'll be right back.